What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is Expanded Thursday. Today, we're going to go over a deck that's been really highly requested over the past couple of weeks, and that is the Speed Lugia deck, or a Lugia-EX deck, or a Plasma deck. So today, we're going to cover a Lugia-EX deck, and we're going to work on it getting it set up turn number 1. I don't know why I couldn't say that correctly, but today, we're going to try to get a Lugia set up on turn number 1 and take a knockout with Plasma Gale and win in 2 turns with Lugia-EX. Yes, in 2 turns, we're going to try to win the game. Now, if you don't know, Lugia-EX is our main attacker, of course. So, Lugia has this really cool ability, Overflow. If your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack of this Pokemon, take 1 more price card. So, if you knock out an EX Pokemon, you take 3 instead of 2. And if you do this twice, you win the game because you knocked out 2 EXs and took all 6 of your prize cards. So that's what we're going to try to do today. Now, Plasma Gale does 120 damage. You might be saying, Squeaky, how does this work? You're only doing 120. You're not really knocking out EX Pokemon. I'll go over that here in a second, how that does work. But Plasma Gale does 120. But you have to discard a Plasma Energy attached to this Pokemon. If you can't discard a Plasma Energy, this attack does nothing. So you do have to have at least a Plasma Energy on your Lugia to take take that damage. So right now, Plasma Gale is doing 120. But we also play Deoxys-EX. Deoxys-EX has the ability Power Connect. Your team Plasma Pokemon attacks do your team Plasma Pokemon attacks, excluding Deoxys-EX, do 10 more damage to the active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance. And we play 4 of these, of course. Now, one way that you know, if you don't know if Team Plasma Pokemon are these Pokemon with these blue borders, and they say Team Plasma right here. So, Deoxys has one, Thundurus says Team Plasma, and Lugia says Team Plasma as well. So, there's a bunch of theyese in the game. They're older cards, but they're still somewhat played and expanded somewhat. So, Deoxys is going to power up our attackers. And once we have 4 of those on the field, Lugia will do 160 damage, which you're still going to be like, Squeaky, that's not a knockout, that's 160. What are you talking about? Well, if you have a Muscle Band, you do 20 more damage to the active as well. So now if you have a Lugia with the Muscle Band, that's 140, and plus 4 Deoxys, that's 180 damage, which can knock out an EX Pokemon pretty easily. And a lot of Pokemon only have 170 HP, so you only need 3 of your 4 Deoxys, which is really, really nice. And that's what we're going to try to do today. We're going to try to get a Lugia set up on the first turn and take a knockout. Now, remember, Lugia does have 4 energies. 4 energy attack costs. We'll go over that here in a second, how that works. Now, the deck plays 2 Shaymin, of course, to help set up. 2 Hoopa to Scoundrelling to search for 3 EX Pokemon, and this is what's going to help us set up so quickly, because we can Hoopa for 2 Deoxys and a Shaymin, set up some more cards, Hoopa again for like another Deoxys, like 2 more Deoxys and a Keldeo, and be A-OK. We play 1 Thundurus, which has a Raiden Knuckle, which is probably one of the coolest decks in the game. Raiden Knuckle does 30. And you attach energy from your discard pile to one of your bench team Plasma Pokemon. Now, this is going to be used late game. If you run out of Plasma Energies on your Lugia, you can Raiden Knuckle onto it, and that way you guaranteed you can set up another Lugia for later on, which is really, really nice. 1 Keldeo for the rush in, so you can rush in and switch over the bench to the active. So that way, if you're poisoned, like somebody uses a Hypnotoxic Laser, you're asleep or something, you can rush in and retreat. And if Deoxys is stuck in the active, Keldeo can get out of the active spot, which is really, really nice. So that's all the Pokemon we play in the deck. It is 14. It is quite a few, but the 2 Hoopa and the 2 Shaymin do help out a lot. So we play 4 Bicycle, and like I said, we're trying to set up on our first turn. So you draw cards, you have 4 cards in your hand. And we are going to like discard a bunch of cards in our hand pretty easily. And so Bicycle is worth it's really, really good in this deck, I think so. 4 Colress Machine. So this is going to help us get that turn 1 attack. Remember, Lugia needs 4 energy. And with the Colress Machine, you search deck for a Plasma Energy and attach to one of your team Plasma Pokemon, shuffle your deck afterwards. So if you get 2 of these and a DCE, you can get a turn 1 attack off, which is really, really nice. It might seem complicated, but I promise it's pretty easy to do and it's easy to pull off. 1 Computer Search to search for consistency reasons, discard 2 cards from your hand, search for any card in your deck, and put it into your hand. 4 Trainers Mail, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 via Seeker, which is pretty much a staple in almost everything. 1 course, because we are going to have a full bench, maybe 5 to 8 cards, because we do play Sky Field. You shuffle your hand to deck and then draw a number of cards equal to the number of bench Pokemon to play, both yours and your opponent's. So you could get anywhere from, I don't know, 5, 10, maybe 16, and both you have a full bench of 8. That'd be really cool. Course for 18 would be really nice. 2 Lysandre, 2 and a 2. Juniper. We really don't focus that much on N and Juniper because we play so many Shaymin, so many Bicycle. We're trying to not play a supporter card. Like, we're going to play a supporter card. Don't worry about that because we're going to draw through a bunch of cards in our deck turn one since we play the Shaymins and the Bicycle and stuff like that. We only need to play one of these, which is really nice. So we don't need to have too many supporter cards in our deck. 3 Sky Field, so that you can have up to 8 Pokemon on your bench, which is really nice. And this is the main thing that helps the deck out a lot when Royal Skies was released. Sky Field lets you have up to 8 bench Pokemon, so now you can have like 4 Deoxys, a Keldeo, and some Shaymins down, which is really cool and really nice. 2 Float Stone to give your Keldeos free retreat or anybody else. 3 Muscle Bands to do 20 more damage to the active, which is mostly for the Lugia. You can also use Helix Force with Deoxys if you need to, or you can maybe attack with Raiden Knuckle. Raiden Knuckle could maybe knock out Shaybase because they are weak to lightning. Some weird things can happen with this deck just because you do play the 2 Prism Energies. But 4 DCE for the Lugia, 4 Plasma Energies, so you can Colress Machine on the first turn, do Power Up Lugia on the first turn, use a Plasma Gale, and 2 Prism Energy, which Prism Energy counts as any energy, but can only be attached to basic Pokemon. You could maybe play more if you want to if you're scared of pricing them, but like I said, Prism Energy is mainly used for late game on Thundurus to put more Plasma Energies onto a Lugia if multiple got like discarded or they got enhanced hammer off or something. It could help you get power up your Lugia. So that is the speed Lugia deck in my opinion. I think it's really cool. I think it's a lot of fun as well. If you can get this Lugia powered up on the first turn, you're going to be A-okay, swinging a lot of damage and taking knockouts. The main things that help us out a lot is the 4 Trainers Mail, the 4 Bicycle, the Shaymins to help us set up draw a bunch of cards. And like you can see here, you're playing Ultra Ball, Float Stone, Colress Machine, Muscle Band, Trainers Mail, Computer Search. You can see that you can discard a bunch of cards from your hand. Use Bicycle, do it again, do a Bicycle, play a Colress, draw a ton of cards, and take a knockout on the first turn. So we're going to see, can this deck set up on the first turn or not? That is the big question. The deck does struggle against like Trevenant sometimes and Vileplume. These are both item locking decks. If they get this up on the first turn, you're pretty much going to lose the game for the most part. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, guys. A lot of people, like I said, did request the deck, so that's why I decided to cover it today. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a great Thursday. Alright, and let's see the deck in action. Alright, you're putting against King Size team playing a Steel, Psychic, and a Colorless deck that's most likely going to be a Trevenant deck, which we might still have the advantage, especially since we can take 2 price cards off the Trevenant. We just got to get this turn 1 Lugia out. So on my opponent's turn, they're going to go first. Alright, so we get a mulligan. My opponent's going to know that we're playing some kind of weird deck, like especially with the Plasma Energy being shown. But let's see what happens. We're going to press done. Going to shuffle our hand into deck and draw 7 new cards. Let's see, what do we get? Alright, so there's a Lugia, which is great. That's what we want to see turn 1. We just gotta hope my opponent does not get a turn 1 Trevenant out. If that happens, then we'll pretty much just lose the game. So Mewtwo, okay, so that's not what I thought it was. But it might still be Trevenant. They might just play Mewtwo just as an attacker, which does happen sometimes. In Trevenant, there's a Wobbuffet. Man, if they retreat to a Wobbuffet, this would be really bad. So Mystery is going to the active, and if they retreat to a Wobbuffet, we're in trouble. There's an Ultra Ball, discarding those 2, okay. There's a Shaymin coming down. I think a Shaymin set up for 3 new cards. Alright, so Shaymin coming down, going to set up for 3. And the question is, will my opponent retreat the Mewtwo or not? Like, right now, our hand is looking really, really solid. There's a Phantom coming down, okay. And will we see a retreat into the Wobbuffet or not? Will we see a Wally into Trevenant? If they Wally Trevenant and retreat to Trevenant, that's the worst situation. Retreating to Wobbuffet might not be so bad, especially if we have, like, double Trainers Mail, double Bicycle, Ultra Ball for Hoopa. We can still use Scoundrelling. There's an Ultra Ball discarding a Trevenant Break and a Megaphone. Most likely going to get another Shaymin out. And if this happens, well, that's 2 easy knockouts of Shaymins that we can use, which would be really, really nice. So let's see what my opponent gets. They haven't played a supporter card yet either. They did have it to link up, but of course they opted to discard that. I'm not sure what they just grabbed. I didn't see it. Another Phantom coming down the field. And there's a Sycamore. Go and discard the hand. Drawing 7 new cards. So 2 Trevenants being down turn 1, which is not great in any situation when you're playing Trevenants. And let's see what else does our opponent do. There's a Love Ball. Probably into the Phantom down the field. Okay. And will they retreat to the Wobbuffet? That's my main question. Let's see. We're waiting. And they do retreat to the Wobbuffet. Okay. So on our turn, let's see what happens. We get a Deoxys, which is great. We'll put that down. We'll use Trainers Mail number 1. And with this, we'll grab a Colress Machine. Alright, that's what I like to see. So grab Colress Machine. We'll play it. Put a Plasma Energy on the active. Alright. We'll Trainers Mail again. And there is I guess we can grab a Muscle Band and an Ultra Ball. I'm going to grab an Ultra Ball right now. We really don't need a Muscle Band that bad. So I'm going to Ultra Ball, discard an Ultra Ball and a Bicycle. And with this, I'm going to grab a Hoopa. Alright, come to me, Hoopa. And we're going to use Scoundering Central Deck for 3 EX Pokemon. So let's Scoundering. And with this, we'll grab a, probably a Deoxys and a Keldeo. Alright, the Keldeo is great because if we get a Float Stone on it, and my opponent licenses Deoxys, we have free retreat. So let's put down Deoxys, we'll put down Deoxys, put down a Keldeo, and we'll bike for 3. We're looking for a DC and a Colress Machine. Alright, so there's a Colress Machine, put that on the active, and the question is, do we play this other, Plasma Energy or not? Let's just Juniper discard our hand, draw 70 cards, looking for a DCE, and we whiffed it. Oh no. Let's Trainers Mail. Look at top 4 cards of our deck. There's a Float Stone. Okay. Oh man, can we play Bicycle? We can't really Bicycle. Man, okay, we're kind of stuck right now. Alright, so we'll grab the Float Stone, which is great. We'll Float Stone the Keldeo, Muscle Band this guy, put a Plasma into the active, and we'll pass on to our opponent's turn. Okay. So to our opponent's turn, let's see what happens. We got 3 Plasma Energies turn 1 on our Lugia, and we can do a ton of damage next turn. Okay. We can Colress for 10, which is great as well. If they Lysandre with Deoxys, we can rush and retreat if they retreat to a Trevenant. So there's a Psychic Energy going to the Phantom, okay. There's a Wally to Trevenant, okay. I wonder which Trevenant he'll, okay, that guy he just put down, okay. And that's actually probably his last Trevenant. He already discarded 3. And a pass onto our turn. Alright, so on our turn, we get a Computer Search. And I'm a Computer Search, discard Hoopa and the Thundurus. And with this, we're guaranteed the DCE. Alright, so let's grab the DCE. Alright, so let's get the DCE. We'll put that down, and we'll Colress set up for 10 new cards. Okay, so Colress, we're going to get 2 new cards. We will put a Muscle Band on. I guess it really doesn't matter. We'll put on a Deoxys. We'll put down play Colress Machine. We'll grab nothing. I'm just thinking my deck out just because our opponent ends this next turn. We'll put down Sky Field. We will put down Lugia. And with this, we can discard Hoopa, which is really great. I'm going to Ultra Ball discard Shaymin. And the let's discard the Float Stone, okay? And with this, we'll grab a, let's see, I was hoping to get another Deoxys, but it looks like the other one is prized. So let's grab a Thundurus. That could be really great to use maybe later on. So put that down. And we'll Plasma Gale. We won't take 2 prize cards because of Wobbuffet in the axe spot, but we will take a knock on the Wobbuffet. Okay, so 170. We'll go down to 5 prize cards. Okay. There's a Seeker. Okay. And here comes Trevenant. So what we can do next turn is a Lysandre bring up the Shaymin, bring up the Mewtwo, take a knockout on it, going down to 2 prize cards, and we'll pretty much be okay from there, as long as our opponent doesn't knock out a Lugia somehow, or get rid of all of our special energies. So there's a Wally, probably won't get the breakout, but this is not going to be enough. They needed energy as well, so there's Trevenant break coming down, okay. And let's see what else does our opponent do. We'll probably see Silent Fear do 30 everywhere. Mystery Energy going to that guy, a Dimension Valley coming down, which we are going to discard the Hoopa. And we'll discard the other Lugia as well, okay? Alright, so those cards get discarded, and our field is looking really pretty as well. I just noticed that. So Love Ball, let's see what they decide to get out. There's a Phantom. And we're looking at okay. Like, as long as they don't play Enhanced Hammer or Zoroark, we're okay. So Silent Fear going to 30 everywhere. 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. Alright, and on our turn, what do we get? We get a Lugia. So we're going to Lysandre, bring up this Mewtwo EX. I'm going to put a DC on the active. I'm going to play Trainers Mail. And let's see what we can get. We grab a Colress Machine just so we can thin our deck out some more. So let's play the Colress Machine, okay? So we don't draw into it. We'll Seeker for a Colress. Yeah, that seems great. We'll grab the Colress. And we'll Plasma Gale, do a ton of damage. We'll discard a Plasma Energy. And we'll go down to 2 prize cards. So 170 damage. Alright. So we'll take 1, 2, 3. I guess we should have maybe put an energy on this guy, and we could knock out a Shaymin maybe. So on our opponent's turn, if they don't get rid of these the Plasma Energy, we're pretty much going to win the game. There's a Sycamore, go and discard the hand, draw 70 cards. Can they find a Crush Hammer or an Enhanced Hammer? That is the big question right now. How many Prisms are in the discard pile? None, so we're looking okay as well on that side of the field. And let's see, can our opponent do anything about this Lugia-EX in the axe spot? It's not looking good for our opponents, I'm not going to lie to you. Let's see what King Size team has here. Will Lugia take a win? There's an Ultra Ball discarding a Colress and an AZ. Maybe getting a Shaymin out. Maybe they do. Okay, Trevenants. Okay, don't really care about that. We're taking the game no matter what if our opponent doesn't discard this Prism Energy. I mean, Plasma Energy, sorry. Okay. What else? There's a Burst Balloon going to the active. Don't care about that. Psychic Energy going to the active. And there's a Solid Sphere going to 30 everywhere. But what we can do this turn is use Plasma Gale to knock out the Trevenant break and take out the game. We will take 2 prize cards off this guy. We'll do 170 damage. There's a Plasma Gale. Do 170. Knock it out of the Trevenant break. We'll take 60 from the Bursting Balloon, but we'll win the game. And yeah, that was what, 4 or 5 turns? That was pretty quick. Yeah, 4 turns. We won the game. We knocked out 3 Pokemon and won the game that way. So that's pretty cool. But we'll see one more game with the Speed Lugia deck here in a second. Hopefully, we have another fantastic start. Alright, putting against X23S playing a Dragon, Psychic, and a Colors deck. And let's see what happens. Can we get a turn 1 crazy Lugia, turn 1 Dunk? We will lose the coin post, so we'll be going second once again. But maybe this time we can attack on turn 1. Maybe use our Shaymin this turn. Hopefully they don't play Wobbuffet again. So on our opponent's turn, let's see what happens. Alright. So, double Deoxys. I mean, we actually have an A-OK hand. I just hate that we started with the Plasma Energy. So put down Deoxys. Put down the other Deoxys. And we're looking good. We're looking really, really good right now. We can just probably Ultra Ball, discard Colress Machine and the Plasma Energy. Hoping to hit another Colress Machine and get a turn 1 knockout. That'd be really, really nice. So put down the other Deoxys. Press done. And let's see what's going to happen. There is a Mew, which is perfect. Like, Mew start is great for us. We can do a ton of damage to Mew. We don't even need Deoxys. Like, we just knock it out. Brain Energy goes to the active, okay. Muscle Bane going to the active as well. Hypnotoxic Laser, which doesn't really matter too much. Heads, we are asleep. We just gotta hope Keldeo is not prized. There's an Ultra Ball discarding a Switch and a Letter. And let's see what our opponent decides to get out. There's a Shaymin, okay. So all these like baby non-EX attackers are great. Our EX attackers is great for us. So Shaymin is set up for 6 new cards, okay. And there's a Dimension Verbex and Geo coming down. I don't know why I thought Dimension Valley. I just assumed Psychic and I was like, oh, Dimension Valley. We see an Ultra Ball discarding a Switch and a double Dragon Energy. And if our okay, there's another Shaymin, which is great. So now they have all 3 EX attackers on the field and pretty much win the game from there. Bike for 4, okay. Alrighty, and I wonder what Dragon Pokemon they play. Shaymin set up for 3 new cards, okay. And let's see what does our opponent get. Hopefully we get the turn 1 Dunk on a Mew. That'd be really nice. And then we'll knock out a Shaymin and win the game. So we see Skyla, and let's see what else does our opponent get. There's another Ultra Ball, okay. So see an Ultra Ball get out a 4th Pokemon, and time to see what is our opponent playing. Discard a Shauna and a Verbex City Gym. And there's another Shaymin. What are we playing against? Another Shaymin coming down? Okay. Alright, whatever. There's a Mew, a Shaymin. Okay. Is my opponent just trying to like deck themselves out turn 1? They're doing a great job so far. 27 cards left in the deck. 3 Shaymins are on the field, and no Dragon Pokemon has been seen. There's an Acrobite discarding a Shauna. Okay. Did they play a Sport card yet? They have played a Skyla. So another Acrobite discarding a Psychic Energy. Okay. There's a Latios. Alrighty. And there's a Fast Raid for 120 with the poison of 150. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's pretty amazing. Alright, so on our turn, what do we get? We got a Lysandre. So on a Ultra Ball, discard Lysandre and the Plasma Energy. And with this, we're looking for Keldeo's in the deck, which is great. So we're going to grab Lugia. We'll put the Lugia down. Colress Machine to the Lugia. Okay. Gonna put that there. Well, Hoopa, and with the Hoopa, we'll Scoundering, and we'll search for 2 EX Pokemon. And with this, I'm just gonna grab Shaymin and a Keldeo. How many? Okay, let's see. We have 2 and 3 more. Okay, so we're looking okay. We'll just grab those 2. We can't put down any more because we don't have Sky Field. So Shaymin and Keldeo coming down. Still put down Keldeo. We'll play Shaymin. Set it for 5 new cards. Alrighty, so it's our turn to go crazy. So Shaymin, set it for 5. There's Sky Field, Trainers Mail, Plasma Energy, Bicycle, Thundurus. So put down Sky Field. We will Trainers Mail. We'll grab a Computer Search. Okay, so do we grab Computer Search? Yes, he's fine. And with Computer Search, we can discard a Bicycle and Thundurus. Maybe grab the Computer Search might have been a bad play. Yeah, we'll discard these 2. And with this, we'll grab a Float Stone at least. That seems good. So we'll grab the Float Stone. So that way we can rush and retreat for free, which is really nice. So Float Stone, okay. We'll put that on the Keldeo, and we're going to Colress for 10 new cards. And let's see, what do we get off? There's a Sky Field, Hoopa, Bicycle, and double Colress Machine. So Colress Machine number 1 onto the Plasma, onto the Lugia. Well, Colress Machine number 2 onto the Lugia. Alright, we'll put a DC on the Lugia, and we're looking really good. We're going to rush in. Retreat to the Lugia. We could maybe play some more cards, draw some more stuff, but we're looking okay. We're going to take a knockout on this Mew. We're going to do a ton of damage with 20, 30, 40. Yeah, Plasma go for the knockout. Discard a Plasma Energy. We'll go down to 3 price cards. And will we win next turn or not? That is the big question. Alright, so take 1, 2, and 3. So 3 price cards taken on our first turn, which is really, really nice. Alright, so let's see. We do have a Lysandre discard pile. We're just seeing, does our opponent play like double Zerosic or something? Or double, not double Zerosic, that'd be cheating. Double Enhanced Hammer, that could be really bad. A double Dragon going down Latios, and there's a Skyla. Let's see what does our opponent get. There's a Hypnotoxic Laser, which does not matter. It looks like we are going to win this game in 2 turns, which is what we want to see with the Speed Lugia-EX deck. So tell us we're not asleep. And a victory screen coming out. Regardless, we have VS Seeker for Lysandre. Bring up Shame, take a knockout. There we go, guys. There is the Speed Plasma Lugia deck. It doesn't get any better than that. We would have won in 2 turns. We would have Lysandre, brought up Shaymin. Even if we would have played 1 Enhanced Hammer, we still had a Prism Energy in our hand. We can put that down. We can maybe play like Trainers Mail AOR, Sky Field, Lugia, dump our hand down, and maybe Bicycle draw some more cards. So there you go, guys. There is the Speed Plasma Lugia deck. I don't think it needs any more like showcases. You can see how great of a deck this is and how much fun it is to get the turn 1 donk. Alright, guys, but hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching this episode of Expanded Thursday. My throat is still hurting because I'm still kind of getting over the sickness. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great Thursday. Alrighty, bye.
Alright guys, just want to give a quick shout out to our 2 sponsors, 60 Cards and Yeti Gaming. The links are down below to their websites. Make sure you go check them out. Alrighty.